Hey y'all, I'm going out with my boots on.
When you and I first met, our conversation centered around hangovers, bar fights, rockin' hard music, late nights. Topics have changed a little bit now as we progress into time. Now we're talking pacifiers, dirty diapers, but still rocking good music and a few less bar fights. Is that accurate?
Yeah, if anybody says anything bad about my family, we might have to have a bar fight. You can mess with me all you want. You mess with my kid, I'm gonna hurt you.
You've always been like the nicest guy, but with a rough edge. That rough edge has been smoothed a little bit over the past few years.
Yeah, it's strange. And it hadn't been, all these changes that have taken place in my life hadn't really been a calculated thing for me. It's just these things started happening in my life, and everything's just become just this cooler place to be. The first thing was I met my wife, who completely changed so many things about my life. You know, I found somebody I wanted to be with, and that one person, and that completely changed a lot about my nightlife, things like that. You know, so,
tone that down a little bit.
It's quite a bit. It allowed me to calm down, and you know, I just wrote a song recently, and it's one of the lyrics is I was always hanging out because inside I was scared to death, and that was that's kind of the way I felt. I was just out to keep from having to be at home and
alone,
and have to answer to myself for the things that were going on in my life.
The only answer is to give this world back to God.
Do you see yourself as a different person?
I still see that old ugly dude I see every morning, you know, but, you know, just with a smile.
How has that affected what you do for a living?
Well, you know, apparently it's affected it pretty well. I've started a new record deal over at Stony Creek Records, and I just feel so very, very lucky and blessed to be at a place where
they're rooting for you.
They are, and they're as excited about my music and about me
as you are.
My dirty old hat with my crooked little grin, granny beaded neck, and these callous hands.
You sat in this room a lot over the past few months, writing a lot of songs. This very room.
This very room, yes.
What's coming out of these rocks?
You know, it's so funny. I'll write in season. For 3 months, I'll just kind of bury my head in the sand and just write. And it's all stuff pouring out that I've just lived or whatever I've just gone through. Right now I'm at this spot where I'm kind of pulling my head out of the sand and looking up and trying to listen to songs and trying to figure out what's going to fit a record. And I am even cutting a lot of outside stuff for this album. My current single is Neil Thrasher and Vicki McGee, he and Wendell Mobley.
How Country Feels.
How Country Feels.
I'll take you up and down these hollers and hills. Let me show you.
Do you feel yourself with the energy that you thought was long gone as you create this album?
I feel new. I feel like a kid. I mean, it's so weird. I really can't explain it.
Well, we're going to explain it partly because some of the rejuvenation comes from being a dad.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nobody who's telling the truth can tell you what it's going to be like to be a dad.
No, and the funny thing is, when you're not a dad, you don't really even care to hear about what it feels like to be a dad.
That's true.
It's like people start telling you about your kid. Okay, whatever. All right, great, your kid.
Let's go to the bar.
Yeah, Lee Bryce and I were down in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we went over to the beach and just hanging out, you know, just chilling out, getting some sun, pulling out our phone, showing pictures. Usually it's showing, check this girl out.
Yeah, right.
And now we're showing, look, he's smiling, and you know, he's got, you know, he's.
How are you going to tell stories to your son about what the old Randy was like?
You know, maybe he won't know. You know, I don't know. I hope he never knows me as anything but happy and glad to be his daddy.